been an interesting 11 months of getting a chance to get back in the theater as a director and as a writer, and to then so quickly see a film come out of what you had just done on stage. Luckily, there were 4 actors that were not just good, but 4 people who seemed to genuinely enjoy both what they were doing and each other. Great.
Fuck right off.
And so the process continued to be pleasurable in all its incarnations, from what one can't even really call a theater in London. It was a disused bus terminal, and then a more traditional theater in New York, and then a film that was shot in 19 days in Los Angeles. Transformations between stage and screen were relatively slight, but the idea was taking what was a play that took place in a Midwestern setting and placing it on film in an unnamed area of California. It made sense in terms of our shooting, in terms of matching weather, also thematically, that the piece was about art, but also about just human beauty, and that there's a kind of beauty myth in California that's slightly different than other parts of the country. It became more of a kind of East versus West Coast feeling of what beauty is and how you can attain it and sustain it. In fact, the whole thesis that one of the characters is working on as a graduate student became more pointed by it taking place in California. I think Gretchen and Fred both make transitions from whom they are when we meet them to what they become in the end.
What?
You never change, that's what.
To the naked eye, the transition that Paul makes is probably the most vast and surprising. There's a great sense of physical change in the character, but emotionally he becomes a different person.
Fine. I just hope the next time we pass each other, I recognize who the hell you are. Oh, yeah?
Rachel's approach to her character, Evelyn, changed from the stage, which is this very presentational medium where you have an audience there who essentially become her audience at her thesis project. And she worked the crowd like a lawyer or a circus clown, which are occasionally synonymous. She was able to state her case with the very audience who she has misled in a really seductive, theatrical way. And we had to find a different way to change her from art student to art terrorist by the end of the film. She probably played her final scenes with greater emotion on film than she ever did in the theater. When a camera can go right up into her face, you can detect flickers across the eye or a wiped away tear in a much more almost violent way than you can in the very confined, non-changing space that is the theater. It was a much greater split between who is right and wrong in the stage play, as opposed to we're very torn emotionally. The gray areas will probably play up even more so. It was a much more black and white experience on the stage.